Objection calls for hearsay.
NANI?
Let me ask you a different question, Mr. Depp.
Yes. Let's let him object to another one. Had a conversation with Ms. Hurd.
Hearsay.
Let's move beyond the conversation that Kevin
Certainly.
Murphy had with Mr.
Said, yes, they have. Okay. It appears that Ms. Hurd had told
Hearsay, Your Honor.
she would like for him to cook. That's hearsay, I guess.
I know if it's sheriff's office for the truth of the matter is certain.
He got it.
Okay, all right, well then.
I'm learning.
You come.
Ms. Hurd, that
I'll move to strike this as hearsay, Your Honor.
All right.
disturbing. Yes, I looked at papers. Maybe they're hearsay papers. I can read it out of someone's article, but not from the man's mouth.
It's a pretty simple yes or no question, which is
You'd like
other
it to be, sir.
others-
Nothing simple in this case.
Other-
October is 2 months before December. That's correct.
the document that you signed as part of your divorce proceedings, correct?
That's my signature indeed, yeah.
That is your signature on the right, correct?
Yes, it is.
This is the document you signed, right?
For the third time, that is my signature, yes.
And that was a document you signed in August of 2016. Correct?
Is that the same one that I signed 3 times before? Yes, that's the
Well,
fourth.
I wanted to make clear that you signed
Make it
that in
clear.
the summer of Paul Bettany, correct?
Again.
Okay. So you were drinking pretty heavily.
Were you there? Very ugly situation with Amber. So
Mr.
I
Depp,
doubled up
with
the,
respect, trying to respect the court's time and the jury's time, that was not my question. My question was
I
simply,
understand. When you
would
take
agree,
5 minutes to look for a
you would agree,
document.
you would agree that on Exhibit 500, please.
500?
500, Defense Exhibit 500.
Yes, I'd like to see who I lied to.
Sometimes drink whiskey in the mornings too, right?
Isn't happy hour any time?
Say that you carried cocaine in that box?
No, but it looks like it would fit some cocaine. I once gave Marilyn Manson a pill so that he would stop talking so much.
That right.
You did.
Did I read that correctly?
You did.
Okay. Did I read that right?
Yes, you did.
Did I read that right?
You continue to read them right, yes.
Right after you cut your finger off, that you, or right after, I won't give you anything to argue with me yet. Right after you sustained an injury to your finger,
Sorry.
that you, right after you sustained an injury to your finger,
Bless you.
poured yourself a mega pint of red wine, correct?
A mega pint.
Yeah. Fast forward in time a little bit, Mr. Depp.
Yes, I can feel it.
I have other uses for your throat which do not include injury. I have other uses for your throat which do not include injury.
Sorry, could you read that again?
You heard Miss Hurd say, "Get off me," right?
No, I did not. Hitting the wall hard based on the
We'll just take a look at the
accusations
next
that she
exhibit, Mr.
brought. I'm sorry, I was talking. Is that all right?
You had answered my question. We'll take a look at the next exhibit. Thank you.
yeah. As long as you're happy, sir.
You didn't want her acting. You wanted to control her career, correct?
Objection compound.
That's
Hold
patently
on,
untrue, and it's a
Mr.
great
Depp.
guess.
Sir. All right, yes, I'll sustain the objection. Next question.
Sorry.
We can, did I read that right?
Yes, Mr. Rottenborn.
You're complaining about her ambition in this text to her, to Dr. Kipper, correct?
I'm realizing that her ambition is far stronger than her supposed feelings for me, yes. It doesn't mean that I actually literally cut my finger off after, at the age of 12, finding the only thing that gave me peace, which is playing the guitar. Very unlikely. Why didn't I start lopping off digits when I was 13 then?
Just the way it was worded. Now, misheard what?
Objection, relevance.
What's the relevance?
When your nerves are
But,
pushed...
sir, you
Can
can
we approach, Your Honor?
Okay.
Pardon.
She was trying to get you to stop using drugs. But
She
let's
had
take a
used
look at
the
what you
same-
say in
She had
this
used
text.
that term before.
In this text, Mr. Depp, you say just there were numerous negative news stories about you. You'd agree with that, correct?
Objection, compound.
All right. I'll sustain it to compound.
Thank you so much.
May 7, 2016. It's entitled Johny Depp. Friends and family seriously concerned about him. Here's why.
Yes,
Correct.
how did they know?
The next article from May 1st, 2017, before Ms. Heard filed for, says Johny Depp reportedly drank heavily and was constantly late on the new Pirates movie set. Did I read that right?
You did, reportedly.
The next
These are
article,
all hit
also
pieces.
from May
These
10,
are drags, sir.
2017. Mr.
This is a
Depp,
pathetic attempt.
Mr. Depp, please just respond to the question that I'm asking you.
What's your
The next
question, Mr.
question, the
Rottenborn?
next document
Yes.
is entitled Johny Depp's financial woes might sink the next Pirates of the Caribbean. Did I read that right?
You did. I don't know
The
how
next
my
article,
financial woes would do
May
that.
25th, 2007. Johnny Depp's star power looks as wobbly as Jack Sparrow on a plank. Did I read that right?
You read that very, very well.
The next one, Hollywood Reporter, May 27th, 2000. Did I read that
Allegedly,
correctly?
reports say, this is hearsay. is
June
it not?
21st, 2018,
word.
6 months before the inside the trials of Johnny Depp. Did I read that right?
You did. You should read the article. It's
And the
wonderful.
last one, June 22nd, 2018. The day Alison Boshoff reveals why Hollywood's reeling over what's being called Johnny Depp's career note. Did I read that correctly?
You did. Who's Alison Boshoff and how does she know?
Mr. Depp, you can't name
Oh, it won't
a
ask
single
you, I see.
actress. No further questions.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, why don't we go ahead and take our morning recess for 15 minutes? Do not.
Sean Bailey, who was the number 3.
Objection, hearsay.
I don't know yet. I'll overrule it at this point.
Thank you.
May I continue, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Just basically said in the...
Objection, hearsay.
Your
What
Honor,
Sean Bailey said.
this is about him
It's in
learning
an
about this. It's
article.
not for the truth.
It is the truth. She's
If
asking.
you want to approach.
Mr. Depp, could you please explain to the jury who Sean Bailey is? I think you were starting to.
Yes, I'll try again. Sean Bailey was quoted as saying that...
Objection, hearsay.
Mr. Depp, where was Sean Bailey quoted, without getting into what he was quoted as saying?
I don't know who did the interview with him.
Objection, lack of foundation.
I'll overrule the objection. Go ahead.
Mr. Depp,
Had been approached to take part in writing
Objection,
Pirates
hearsay.
6.
last week Mr. Rottenborn asked you about a quote where you said you wouldn't come back to the Pirates franchise for $300 million and a million alpacas. Do you remember that?
I do.
What? Do you recall when specifically you made that statement about the $300 million and the 100 alpacas?
Objection, asked and answered.
Overruled.
Mr. Depp, do you recognize this document?
As soon as my eyes go on, I hopefully will. Oh, there it goes. Oh, I'm so pathetic when it comes to knowing what movies I've done. I'm sorry. I just, I don't watch them. I feel better not watching them. I couldn't, what was the question again?
How many?
I have order in the court, or I will have you removed. Understood?
How would you describe Mr. Bettany's relationship with Miss Heard while you and Miss Heard were together?
Abominable.
Mr. Depp, I believe this is another text message with Mr. Bettany that you were shown on your cross-examination.
And when he came home from school...
Your Honor, I'm just going to object on relevance. The question was, who was this about?
We can move on.
Okay.
Mr. Depp, what if any portion of this email exchange is literally true?
We're all set to leave here at approximately 1:30 p.m. Hope you rested well. I believe there's also a napkin down there where
Objection,
someone...
Your Honor, lack of foundation. He's referring to exhibits that aren't in evidence. And
All right,
has no idea whether they even exist.
I'll sustain the objection now. Next question.
You didn't know what could cause damage to Mr. Depp's hand while you were there on March 8th, correct?
Dr. Kipper told me he sustained an injury on one of his
Well,
fingers.
objection, hearsay.
Wait, you asked the question.
Oh,
Next question.
okay. You said he sustained an injury to his finger.
One of his
Well,
fingers.
objection, hearsay.
Wait, you asked the question.
Okay. You said he sustained an injury.
Premiere or opening or whatever, where she could be.
Objection beyond the
Photographs.
scope of the question, Your Honor.
Sorry?
I believe he was responding to what he meant by what he wrote in his text message
And then
to
he said
Dr.
I meant exactly what the word said. And now he's going beyond
All
the
right,
scope.
I'll sustain the objection. Next question.
Thank you, Mr. Rottenborn.
Your
Sir,
Honor,
if you could just answer the question, Mr. Depp, please.
Sir,
Direct your
sir.
attention just to your attorney, okay?
Sorry, Your Honor.
Uh,
Miss Heard would get upset, angry, argumentative, and violent in Australia. The one that was the day when my tip of my finger disappeared. When she arrived in Australia, she complained that an attorney who was explaining to her
Objection, Your Honor, is hearsay as to what he alleges her attorney was explaining to her. That's clearly
we can
hearsay.
move on, Your
Okay,
Honor.
yes, ma'am.
In the content, and do you recall what you were upset about in that video?
Objection, leading.
Overruled.
apparently looking for any metadata is impossible as it is
Your
now
Honor,
owned
beyond the
by...
scope of the
I'll
question.
sustain the objection. You want to ask the question
Mr.
again?
Depp, what do you remember?
that it didn't have anything to do with her.
Objection beyond the scope of the question.
Overruled, I'll allow it. It's fine. All right. Any objection to 365?
No, Your Honor.
All right, 365 in evidence.
Couch. 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 Yes.
Your Honor, she said this was 11
That's
seconds.
been nasty. No, I'm not saying
it's
that.
45.
You asked.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I think I misspoke. It may have been 45. I may have misremembered.
She said
It's
it was
a.
11 seconds long. That went way longer.
I apologize. I misremembered. Okay, it's
Well,
45.
that's just sorry because we didn't publish it. There you go. Okay.
What do you want?
I want couch. I want couch. Agree, please, though. You said you agreed before we started talking.
Mr. Depp, do you recognize what's in that recording?
Seems pretty clear that she's ordering me to the couch. When someone brings up the fact that you vomit in your sleep every night, well, first I think you'd be aware of it. I think the first thing that I would do is seek medical attention. I don't know why anyone would record that.
Okay, 342. Any objection?
As long as there's no one else in the audio recording.
What was it when you asked me to stay? What did I do?
The screeching of her voice.
What does that mean in the context of that conversation?
I don't know. Again, it seems like some word that was... it became
Objection,
part
Your
of
Honor.
it.
He said he doesn't know.
All right, I'll sustain objection. Next question.
So at first I said,
Objection, Your Honor. The question was simply, do you remember when that was from? It's beyond scope.
Okay.
So, where were you when that recording was taken?
my children couldn't escape the fact that all this had gone down. So
Objection,
I was
Your Honor. The question was, how did the discussion go? And he's talking about his children. It's way beyond the scope.
just talking.
Sir, just wait for the objection.
I think he's describing the context around that conversation.
It's way beyond the scope.
All right, I'll sustain the objection. Next question.
Mr. Depp, why were you...
I mean, everybody, I know that that's his job, but that was quite a cruel...
Objection, Your Honor. We're well beyond the
All
scope.
right, I'll sustain the objection. Next question.
Finally, I'd like to play a portion...
All right, any objection to 357A?
No, Your Honor.
All right, 357A in evidence.
You can please tell people that it was a fair fight and see what the jury and judge think. See how many people believe or side with you.
How far after May 21st, 2016 do you think that conversation was?
Objection. Calls for speculation. Sorry, say yes.
I'm asking for his best estimate.
I'll allow him to answer this.
Sorry, could you ask it again? I was distracted.
How long after... I have nothing further, Your Honor.
All right. Sir, you can have a seat next to your attorney, please.
Thank
Okay, all right, your next witness. Ben King. Somebody going to go get Mr. King? You can just,
Do away with these.
you can take it with you. If you, or you just leave it. You can leave it there.
Okay.
On one of his
Well,
fingers.
objection, hearsay.
Wait, you asked the question.
Oh,
Next question.
okay. You said it sustained an injury to his finger,
Yes.
but you don't know what caused the injury to his finger.
One of
That was the dog trying to get into the unit. And they were so afraid. Oh, somebody's trying to get into my unit. They're like, oh, come on, really? And I actually, when they asked me to go inside the unit just to check room by room to make sure no one was there. We don't have cameras in the videos. Sorry, we don't have cameras at the hallway. We don't have cameras on the hallway. I always make eye contact with someone I'm talking to, but I'm not looking to find something like oh, your makeup's wrong, you haven't have to change your eyebrows, or your eyelashes are not even, or I'm not looking for anything. I'm just looking at their eyes.
But in fact, you don't recall seeing Amber Heard on May 24th, correct?
I don't remember. I don't even remember what I got for breakfast.
Okay. Well, let's pull up exhibit number 1. Did you testify truthfully to everything that you testified in response to my questions today?
That's correct.
All right.
I did.
All right. That was a first. I'm sorry.
I will say, Your Honor, that is the most bizarre deposition.
Okay. All right. I've just never seen that before. I've seen a lot of things, but I've just never seen it.
Driving that.
Yeah, that did it. All right. So,
That news that he was given that night was catastrophic, wasn't it?
No.
And Mr. Depp was trying to urinate in the foyer, wasn't he?
No.
Mr. Depp had his penis out of his pants,
Objection.
didn't he?
I think I would remember
Relevance.
seeing Mr. Depp.
I'll allow. Next question.